Good day, brave hearts. Welcome to the Doc of Detox Advanced Water Fasting Challenge live Q&A. So, this is day 5, okay, for those of you who are doing the advanced water fast. I'm getting an echo in my ear here. Okay. So, I'm your host, Dr. Darrell Wolf, and today is day 5 for those of you who are doing it. And just know that you can go 6 days, you can go 7 days, you could have done 1 day. Everybody hold on for a second. Guys.
We'll be right back. We gotta fix your mic.
Okay, we'll be right back, everybody. Yeah. Good day, everyone. Yes, I'm back. This is Dr. Daryl Wolf, and this is day 5 of the Advanced Water Fasting Challenge. And before we get into this and before we start, I just want to say something. Yeah, technology is, I'm not going to call it great. It's good. But guess what? Do you know what's better? Nature. Nature. Nature is everything to me. I'm going to be making some drastic changes in my life that I am going to have more nature, more of what I am. I am a natural man, okay? I am a human being. I am a life energy source, and guess what? Technology sucks the living right out of me. So yes, I can reach everybody, and I can get my message out. I can touch people, touch their hearts, hopefully, open up their minds, but understand something. I need nature. If I were to just do this and live that technological world, I'd be sucked out, okay? I'd look like a leaf in the fall time, all sucked out. That's right. Let me just say this. You better be making sure that you are plugging into nature. You are plugging into your natural self. And that is the biggest problem with today, okay? So understand this. Technology is killing us. It's killing us. The blue light poisoning, I wear these all the time. These are called Tesla Lightwear. If I didn't wear these when I wasn't on my show, man, I'd be blind and out of my mind. Because blue light, okay, causes cataracts, glaucoma, detached retina, red eyes, burning eyes. Okay, it causes dementia. It causes Alzheimer's. That's right, because your eyes don't see. They pick up light, they pick up frequency, and then your brain makes the images. But because those people that are in control of our planet and always have been, okay, they could have created a light that was healing to our brain and our eyes. You know what? They've always ruled, schooled, and fooled us. They've always poisoned our food, our water, our air, and poisoned our minds. Okay, understand this. There's no way in the world that we're going to get those that so are the powers to be to love us. They're not going to. They're not going to. They've decided, guess what? You know what? This is the craziest thing. They've decided that they're doing the best for the planet. That's what they're doing right now. The best for the planet. Yeah, they're doing the best for us. Okay? Yeah. Get some nature in your life. Put a smile on your face. Connect to your breath. Go hug a tree. Go look at a butterfly. Go do some bird watching. Do something, for God's sakes. Breathe deep. Get life back into your life, okay? That's all I want to say. And I'm going to do it. There's going to be some drastic changes that happen in my life in the next few months, okay? All right? Because you know what I said to my partner? I said to the people that I work with, I said, you know what? There is nothing more important than loving, honoring, and respecting myself and having a beautiful day every day. And I'm going to build that into my life. I am not, it's not about business no more. It's not about money, okay? It's about the smiles, the happiness, the joy, the feeling your spirit rise, okay? Feeling good about yourself, staying in the present moment. That's everything. Nobody can pay for that. Nobody can pay for that. They want us to chase the dollar. They want us to think that suffering is a major part of our life, like everybody believes. Suffering is not part of my life. Okay? I will struggle to create something amazing, but you're going to struggle anyways. I mean, you're either struggling at home on the couch, or you're struggling inside your brain, or you're going to struggle because you're creating this amazing masterpiece called your life. But it's a wonderful way to struggle, isn't it? Okay? It's like struggling and getting yourself out of the cocoon and finding your butterfly wings so that you can fly. Understand something. There is not a disease out there, okay, that isn't a healing crisis. There is not a disease out there that you wouldn't have if you knew how to do conflict resolution on an emotional level. If you could learn how to let yourself off the meat hook. And that's what we do. We just take that meat hook and we just shove it right into the back of our spine and hang ourselves there, because guess what? Suffering is the way, isn't it? Just like most families, whoever suffers the most loves the family the most. Well, then guess what? Then I mustn't love my family, right? No. It's a disruptive, corruptive belief. I couldn't love my family more. I couldn't love the people in this planet more. And the reality is I have to love them completely because it's the only way that it can work. I have to love them to love myself completely. If you have anything that you go around talking about that you hate, then you are the disease. We can't do that. Of course, there's things I dislike, trust me. But I'm not going to make them my focus. My focus today will be to have the most enriched life and to share that light and that energy with everybody else that I can, because there's no greater purpose than to share your smile, to share your laughter, to share your bravery, to share your courage, to share your wisdom and your knowledge. And here's hoping you have some, because there are so many people out there that are so dumbed down and stupid. I did say stupid, because understand something. You're only as smart as your belief. And if they're stupid, then you're going to look stupid. You're going to act stupid. And I'm not calling anybody stupid, but there are stupid beliefs. There are very dumb beliefs. There are very toxic beliefs. Okay, there are very abusive beliefs. And understand, anybody that's abusing the world is abusing themselves, or they've just drank the Kool-Aid to believe that harvesting human beings is that it will create a better world. Go figure. Our job is not to change the minds of these people. Our job is to master our own mind, because the most important thing that you could ever do is to smile, be happy, no matter what. Just try. See if you can be happy all day and walk around with a smile. See if you can do that, no matter what happens. That's the first thing. Stop being a victim. Stop telling me about how bad your life is, okay? Because that story's getting really tiresome. Everybody's coming on now because I don't blame you, but the reality is that you've got to rise up. You've got, okay, here's the list that makes me feel like crap. Here's the list that makes me feel like I'm loved. Take that list, write it on a piece of paper, and burn it. And then only go by this list. That's how you change your life. You change your life by changing your reality, and you can't change your reality unless you want to change parts of your personality. So it's never going to happen for 9,999 people on this planet are never going to change. 1 out of 10,000 people will ever rise to their greatness. And you know why? Because you won't dishonor the dishonoring beliefs and thoughts and programs that mommy and dad gave you, even though they loved you the most that they could. Even though I loved my children when I was raising them the most I could, I was still a dysfunctional father. Let me just tell you that much. All right? And I don't have any guilt about it, but the reality is I need my children to know that I am there for them to try to unravel, okay, the screws that I put into them when they were growing up, because I didn't know any better. But ignorance is no excuse. And the reason is that we're all ignorant is because as soon as we get here, we get programmed. We get programmed. You know what? We get programmed that you're only going to live this long, okay? And then I have a gentleman coming on, his name is Michael, and I guarantee you, you know what? He's going to tell you his story. And I'm going to tell you, when a doctor says to you, you only have so long to live, the doctor's not lying. He's telling you his truth. And I'll tell you, it is a lie. It's a lie because as soon as you no longer want to become a statistic, as soon as you want to break away from being a statistic and you want to change your personality and stand out and become outstanding. And the reality is that when that doctor says you only have this long to live, he's telling you that a person your age, a person with your condition, is going to live this long. Well, what if you changed your mind? What if you changed the way you thought? What if you changed the way you drank and eat and the way that you treat yourself and treat others? What if you actually let yourself off the hook for everything and you totally unconditionally love yourself? You no longer played the sinner game. You no longer played the failure game, and you played the I got this game, and I came down to a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure called Planet Earth, where everybody lies, cries, and justifies, and I've done a damn good job, and I'm going to do a better job right now because I just realized that suffering is not the way. That you can have hell on earth or you can have heaven on earth, so you can choose right now. And you got to choose every moment that you're alive. And the only way that Michael, who's going to be coming on, is going to heal himself is if he bloody well smiles. And if he starts breathing, and if he starts going, I deserve it all. And if Michael has some kind of religious belief that he is not worthy of that which created the universe, unconditional total love, then I can't help him and he can't help himself. Because until you have conflict resolution, okay, you are the cancer. And you got to do it right away, but here's the problem. The brain is 90% subconscious, and if it's 90% subconscious, that means that all it is a big storage shed for beliefs. And the thing is that Michael created his own disease from his own beliefs, and the beliefs were that he wasn't a deserving person. And he can say he is, that you're wrong, Dr. Wolf, but guess what? I'm right. When it rains, you get wet. And when you have an umbrella, you don't. Because I don't really care. You know, people can say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, Dr. Wolf. Yeah, 40 years and coming from my heart center, not wanting to hurt someone, but to empower someone. Yeah, that's my only intention. And understand, we're all bloody well programmed. And I'm programmed, but guess what I'm programmed for? Unconditional love for this guy and for everybody else. And for those people that are running beliefs that want to hurt us, I don't focus on them. I focus on what I want. Stop talking about these people. Stop doing what they want you to do. Do what you want to do. Stop telling me you went to see an expert person about your health. Or I went to see an expert. Oh, you really did you? What a bunch of crap. Cut the crap. Seriously, enough is enough. Oh, I've been everywhere, Dr. Wolf. Really? Did you go inside yourself? Did you find that heart spot? That God spot? Inside your heart, did you work on that one? I don't give a crap what you take. Supplementation, energy medicine. You got to become the energy medicine. I'm not all fired up today. It's a sunny day. I love today. I love my life. And the reality is this. You know what? I get up around 5 o'clock in the morning. I take about 20 calls before I get here. So I get to have people crying, moaning, complaining. They're at their wits' end. And do you know why? Because somebody said, here's your manual. Now go kill yourself. Burn that book real fast. Okay? Let's bring on Michael. So everybody, I will be doing the fasting thing today. Michael, hold on for a second. I had a gentleman this morning. I think he's around 70 years old. He's on 7 different drugs. I'm not making this up, okay? I don't make it up. I don't make this stuff up. So he's on 7 different prescription drugs, and he says, Dr. Wolf, I love your work. I follow you. I'm going to start the fast. I said, no, you're not. He said, why not? I said, well, because you're on 7 different medications. For one thing, you know, you're like your doctor, whoever that doctor is, like the mad scientist. You know, you take more than 2 prescriptions. They don't even know what the side effects are. They don't even know. But you got 3, you got 4, you got 5, you got 6, you're on 7. I said, listen, if a heroin addict called me right now that was on heroin and coke, okay, and speed and everything and other drugs, 7 different street drugs, and they said, hey, Dr. Wolf, how you doing? I'm going to do an advanced water fast right now. And I'd say, yeah, do you want to blow your head off? Because that would unleash everything so fast. I'd say, no, please come talk to me. Get yourself on a perfect day diet where you're eating just even fresh and raw and some cooked food, healthy food, and then we'll get you off the cooked food. Then we'll just do the perfect day diet of high vibrational foods. But understand, the higher the vibration of the nutrient, the supplement, the belief, the emotion, everything below it gets kicked out. So isn't that something? I hope you're getting this, Michael, when you come on. Because the higher your vibration is, the happier you are, the more in love you are with your life, yourself. And the more that you find your passion and purpose, it kicks everything else out. It kicks everything to the corner that fast. Here's the deal. Sick people have sick beliefs. Are they sick in the mind? Like, you're sick. No. But sick people have sick beliefs. I mean, isn't that logical? Healthy people would have healthy... No, wait. So sick people don't have sick beliefs. Oh, well, then you're going to try and tell me that healthy people don't have healthy beliefs. So the reality is sick people have sick beliefs. Now, are they unworthy? No, that's not what I said. Are they sick in the mind? No, that's not what I said. I said that they were listening to people that said they knew what they were talking about and they didn't. So don't give me this specialist thing. Oh, my doctor's going to send me to a specialist. You know what? Run from specialists, okay? You know, you want to talk to people who know about whole body healing. Isn't your whole body involved? Your mind, your spirit, your physical body, isn't it all involved? And if you've got a problem in your toe, understand something. It's not your toe. It's just your weakest link. So anyways, so this gentleman's going to have a perfect day consult. We'll get him on the perfect day diet, and we'll get him doing coffee enemas, the ultimate coffee enema. We'll get him on supplementation. And guess what? I'm doing another fast in 2 months. In 2 months, I'm doing another advanced water fast. I do them every 2 months, and he'll be able to go on it. And guess what? This 70-year-old guy, he's going to feel like he's 45 by the time we get done with him, because he's going to bring up his vibration. You got to bring up your vibration. Everything is vibration. You know what? You can turn cancer on and off by a vibration. If I could get into Michael's head, but see, Michael's not going to respect me like he's going to expect. He's going to respect the specialist who told him that he's only going to live for this long. But he's not going to, why would he respect me? I'm just a fake doctor, okay? I'm a fraud, okay, that's only dealing with bananas and apples. I'm not dealing with the latest, greatest technological breakthrough that would tell him he's going to die in this moment or 3 weeks or 3 months from now. Are you getting all this, everyone? Isn't it great that we can just come down here and play God? You know what you need to do? You need to play God for yourself. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
It is well with my soul, Dr. Wolf. How are you doing?
I'm having a pretty good day. It's kind of quiet, but, you know, I'm kidding. 4 inches? Yeah. Oh, I have to share my screen with him?
Yes,
okay.
Can you turn on your video? I can't see you.
Oh, he can't see me either. Okay, so am I turned on yet? I feel like I'm turned on.
You're coming on. There you are. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So what do you think about what I just said?
You know, it's interesting. I agree with you completely. And in fact, this may come as a complete shock to you. I've already reached so many of those conclusions, and my life story, my testimony, if you will, aligns with so much of what you said. So I have had 2 bouts with cancer in my life. Okay. The first bout of cancer happened when I was 17 years old. Mm-hmm. And the precursor to my cancer was my only sibling, an older sister. She was brutally murdered. And it devastated me. It just rocked my world, shook my family. And at that time, I was just an angry young man. And I allowed hatred into my heart and into my mind. And I became consumed with the idea of revenge and trying to find whoever it was that killed my sister. And I was hell-bent on avenging her death.
What was the cancer?
3 months later, I became diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease, cancer of the lymphatic system. And I ended up having 2 bouts with cancer. So I'll tell you, after 1 year of chemotherapy, I was in remission. But it was during that time that my life started to change, but there were still greater changes that needed to happen. And cancer came back. This time it came back with a fury. However, there was a new ingredient in my life. I found a relationship with God. And I was at the beginning of that relationship, and he was just starting to teach me the things that he needed to teach me. And so during that process of that second bout with cancer, I was told by different physicians that at first you have a 50% chance to live.
What was the second bout of cancer? When was it? You didn't...
Okay, I'm sorry. So I went through 1 year of chemotherapy.
You were 17 years old, okay?
Yes.
So can I say something, Michael? Every little bit, can I just say something so I don't forget?
Yes.
Okay, so just so you know, everyone, lymphoma is with the lymph nodes, okay? So, and the lymph nodes under the arms, the neck, the groin, behind the knees, the inside the elbows, the ankles, but you have lymph nodes everywhere, but those are the main channels, okay? And understand with lymphoma, we're talking about not being able to let go. Not being able to let go. So what he did was he actually backed everything up. And then instead of having proper circulation, he became a cesspool of breeding infection. Okay? So go ahead.
That makes perfect sense. So I went through 1 year of chemotherapy. I experienced 1 year of remission. Then I relapsed, and then my prognosis was grim. I was told that I went from originally having a 50% chance to live to then a 25, to then eventually a 0% chance to live. And I was actually stage 4 Hodgkin's
Stage 4.
disease.
Okay, now if I can cut in, is it okay?
Absolutely, please,
Okay,
anytime.
let's just pretend we're dancing and it's my turn to cut in. Okay, so here's the situation. Everybody, I'm going to be releasing a 2-hour video. The first time I'm going to be releasing the first hour of this video is I'm doing what's called a Braveheart Hero Day. It's 8 hours with me if you can actually handle that. And it's going to be on May the 1st, and you can actually check my website, and you don't have to join this if you don't want. So, but I'm going to be having it there. And I've done a video called The Emotional Intelligence of Cancer, Disease, and Healing. And here's everybody, I am not diagnosing, I am not prescribing, and I do not believe in cures. The only cure is staying in the present moment and totally loving and honoring yourself and that which created you. That is the only cure for me. So here's the deal. So what happened was, when this happened to your sister, you were in the biggest conflict of your life, okay? So her life was taken, and your life was threatened. Your life was being threatened that you didn't know if you could go on living without her. So you could not let that go. So without conflict resolution, we must end up with a disease like cancer. So now, understand, when I'm saying this, I'm not telling you not to go get chemo. I'm not telling you not to get radiation. I'm not telling you to go on drugs. When I'm talking from a personal point of view. That's all. I am not talking as I am the doctor know-it-all, because guess what? The more I learn, the less I understand. Seriously. So you might want to think twice about staying on the show and listening to this. So here's the deal. Conflict, if you don't have conflict resolution in your life with yourself first before the world, never try to get conflict resolution with anyone until you have it with yourself first. Never go outside for conflict resolution until you find it in first. If you can talk to someone and that's going to help you get conflict resolution inside, then do it. But don't go get conflict resolution until you find peace enough that you're not going to end up creating more trauma, drama, conflict. So here's the deal. It didn't matter if he had chemo, didn't matter if he did radiation, didn't matter if he took all the supplementation or energy medicine, if he doesn't have conflict resolution. So I can tell that he believes in God. I can tell that he believes in eternal life. Then why is he so caught up with all this misery? Sure, she lost her life on this planet, but she went on living as a spirit. We know that. It's because he was never taught to love himself, and he still doesn't love himself yet. But he does love God 100%. We know that. But guess what? He thinks that's going to be enough. It's not. You have to totally love yourself first and foremost on this planet. I didn't say before God. There's two different things. And then when I say that, people go, oh my God. I was taught that if I totally love myself, I could become a danger to society. Like, who taught you that? So you can't give what you're not, and you can only give what you are. So I just want to cut to the chase that if Michael doesn't totally love, honor, respect himself and let go of all guilt, all shame, and everything he's ever done, and know that, guess what? Man created the confession. Man created the sinner syndrome. Not that created the whole universe. God, we think small, don't we? Listen, I'm not telling you that when I make a mistake, you got to learn from it or you're going to keep burning. So why does he keep burning? He keeps burning because guess what? He's made God responsible. Well, guess what? Until he loves himself as well, he will remain in partial hell. And that's it. And I see it all the time. I am not an evangelist. I'm not a minister. I'm not whatever you think it is. I am. I'm just a guy that's been in the health business for 40 years, and I can't go around BSing people and telling them that if they take all of my supplementation, that they're going to stay well. No, it'll end up like the chemo. But if you have belief the chemo is going to heal you, there's a good chance it could. But the reality is we know that it is made from mustard gas, which is one of the most toxic chemicals in the world. We know that it also kills the TB bacteria, and the TB bacteria in our body actually eats up the cancer. So what's the chances of Michael getting his TB bacteria eaten up if the chemo killed the TB bacteria? I explained this in this article. So that means he's going to have to bring his vibration up on all levels with his diet, with his emotions, and understand that. I mean, right now, if I look at Michael, I can see the water retention, so he's still really inflamed. And I'll tell you something, the water retention of that inflammation is he has not let himself off the hook yet. But let's find out from Michael.
Okay, so fast forward to I was put in hospice care, and I was basically given a very short amount of time to live. And as a brand new Christian, I really was new. I didn't know virtually anything about the Bible. I would say I was biblically illiterate, but I was a young person of faith. I knew the basics, that God sent his son to die for my sins. And if I ask him to forgive me for my sins and invite him into my life, I can be reconciled to him in a relationship. And so I did that. And here's what happened that was supernatural. One night at midnight, I woke up, and again, as a brand new Christian, I suddenly was wide awake, and I felt led to just reach over and grab a Bible that was given to me as a gift. And when I opened it, it opened to the book of James in the New Testament, chapter 5. And the very first thing I read is, "Any among you sick?" And immediately my eyes looked up and I thought, wow, now that's quite a coincidence. And I continued.
No coincidence, but okay.
Right, I'm saying that sarcastically.
No, I know you are, but I'm just saying it's
divine.
amazing, you know. And the thing is guess what? Yeah, you know, I think that we can't walk away. You can't walk away from God. And this has got nothing to do with, and I'm not talking about religion now. I'm talking about you can't walk away. You cannot walk away, because that's the greatest power that you'll ever have. Michael, is that a plastic bottle?
It is, yes.
Okay, so there's xenoestrogens in there and also cancer-causing chemicals in there. What company made that?
Deer Park.
Okay, so I want you to go and put that bottle in the freezer for 48 hours. And the water may not freeze, and that's because they have cancer-causing chemicals. So the bottle doesn't freeze so that they never lose any money.
Interesting.
So
thank you.
To
That's
drink out of a
helpful.
plastic bottle means we're not loving ourselves yet. And I'm being very honest with you. So I'm not trying to take anything away from your story, what you're doing right now. But the reality is, unless you're a conscious Christian, you're still not going to be around for very long. You have to be a conscious Christian, not an unconscious one. Okay. All right. Let's go.
Very good. So what happened next is I continued to read, "Is any among you sick? Let him call on the elders of the church and have them anoint him with oil, and the prayer of faith that is offered for the sick will heal the sick. And if he has sinned, he shall be forgiven. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much." That didn't make much sense to me. But what did make sense is for me to pick up the phone, call my pastor, which I did. And I asked him, "Is this real?" And he said, "It is." And so I said, "Well, I don't know who or what the elders are, but I'm calling on them. So I called on the elders of the church, and the short version of the story is they laid hands on me. They put oil on my head, which is symbolic of the Holy Spirit and traditionally was also medicinal. But in this case, it's symbolic of the Holy Spirit, and they prayed. And what they prayed is for God to give me a second chance and to perform a miracle. And the short end of the
How
story,
long ago was that?
31 years ago,
Okay.
God healed me of terminal stage 4 cancer. And I remember being in front of my oncologist.
Okay, can I
after
say
going-
something
Yeah.
without you taking it wrong?
Yes.
God gave you the power to tap into any time you want to heal yourself. It's always there. God gave us that power. I'll tell you something right now. How long have you been a practitioner? Like a practitioner of health?
Oh, I have not been.
I've been for over 40 years, and I've seen, because I was raised a Christian, I've seen Christians come in, Muslims come in, Jewish people, doesn't matter. But the reality is this. I've seen them come in with cancer twice, 3 times, 4 times. You got to understand something. That's just half the coin. The other half of the coin is the cancer's not going to come back. When you totally honor, love, and respect yourself, and you can let yourself off the hook of things. But continue your story.
So to your point, what you were saying earlier, one of the most interesting things is, so there was a miracle, a physical miracle. I'm looking at the results of a CT scan and my doctor gasps and he said, I can't explain this. There's no way to explain this. This is not possible. He said, your cancer is completely gone and your organs that were all damaged have been restored to a normal, healthy state. And he said, that's not possible. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to give glory to God.
It is possible because understand what I said when I started this is that the higher the frequency, the lower frequencies get kicked out. When my daughter was 6 years old, she got ran over by a van. We were in Arizona. She bled internally. She died on the actual helicopter. They actually, there's 4 different blood types. They put all 4 blood types into her on the helicopter. They brought her back. They said she would not live that night till the morning. I knew the head monk of the Buddhist. I called my church. I called a friend of mine who was a Jewish person, and he called the Jewish synagogue. I went and we were in Arizona, and a friend of mine said, I'm going to send somebody over, and he is a native Indian healer. And he said, I'm going to go in and pray for your daughter tonight. And he said when he went in to pray for my daughter, he couldn't even get close. There was so much light. He said it will take me 2 or 3 days before I can even get close enough to her to work on her, because there was hundreds of thousands of people already working on her. So anyways, just to make a long story short, 5 days later, we were on a plane flying back home with my daughter.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I hear you loud and clear, and I'll tell you something. That was one of the most traumatic things in my whole life, is to have that happen to me, because you know what, I was crumbling when she got ran over and I went to pick her up. She just went white, and I couldn't understand why, and she went white as a ghost. Meanwhile, I didn't know she was bleeding in the inside, right? And we were up in the mountains, so it took a helicopter a while to get there. And then I went to the front desk of the hotel we're staying at, and the person went for lunch, and they unplugged the phone and put it into the safe. And we didn't have a cell phone up there. So, yeah, faith, we can't lose faith no matter what. Go ahead, my friend.
Yes, thank you. And so the miracle happened. That was miracle number 1. The second miracle is I ended up getting into prison ministry. And what was amazing is it wasn't until about a year or so into prison ministry that someone ended up saying to me, Michael, based on your past and what happened to your sister, you're the last person that I would ever expect to be in the prisons. And it was then that I realized that the second miracle had happened in my life, because I had truly reached that point of complete forgiveness of the person that killed my sister, to the point where I no longer thought the way I was thinking in the past, which was that I wanted everyone that was a criminal executed, and I wanted them held hot to the highest accountability, to the letter of the law, etc. And my life from that point had changed, and there was tremendous peace, and I've been a productive and loving life and having a great life, happily married, 31 years. Now, why is it then that I have cancer now? I believe I have the answer to that. November of last year, 2 companies that I started were starting to suffer quite a bit, all because of COVID. And in addition to that, that was during the election time. There was so much going on that I was watching the news around the clock, and I was seeing what was happening with statues being ripped down and buildings being torched and businesses being ransacked. That indignation inside of me for the injustice that was happening was overwhelming. And I started saying some things to myself that were destructive. I started saying things like, who would want to live at this time? This is terrible, an awful place to live. I wish I were not living during this time. I was saying those kinds of things to myself. And next thing you know, I was experiencing difficulty swallowing.
Michael, you get what you asked for.
Yes, exactly.
And understand, we're going to keep on coming back to what I just said.
Yes.
Until you totally love Michael and mind your own business. And if you ever take a look at my stuff, you probably haven't seen my stuff, but one of the main things I said is mind your own business. Your own business is learning how to love, honor, and respect yourself, and only focus on what you want in your life, okay? And then understand that there's also a greater hand at play. But understand, you can override all of it by dishonoring those cells in your body, because everything runs off a frequency. Go ahead.
So that was in November. My swallowing became more difficult. And come January, I started getting radiating pain. At first, we thought it was acid reflux. I went to a doctor, and I realized at that time that my way of thinking was too negative, and that I was creating a hostile environment for myself. And our church had a prayer meeting that month, and I went forward and I got on my knees and I just said, Lord God, I'm emptying myself of all of that. And
Beautiful.
I'm just laying that at the foot of the cross and asking you to just forgive me, to cleanse me from all of that. And I receive it, and I receive your light. I'm receiving your thoughts, because his thoughts aren't destructive thoughts. His thoughts, God is love. So I said, I receive that. And at that
Actually,
point,
Michael, please don't do that. God is beyond love. Don't call God love. Love down here is people hold each other for ransom for love. If your wife doesn't do something, we will hold back. People hold back in each other. It's beyond love. It's beyond anything that we could even imagine. Gosh, I would never, ever call what God has for us just love, because that can't be true, because love is just an ingredient. It's what you do with it.
well, God calls himself love. He says God is love in the New Testament. That's why I'm referring to that. So that's what I mean by that.
Okay.
And my point is that I got the reset. At that point, I reset my mind. And
How long ago was that you reset your mind?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
How long ago was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was January. That was January. So, but at that point, I had an appointment to go to my family doctor, which led to a gastric intestinal expert, and they did an endoscopy, and they found a nodule, which a week later was called a tumor, and then a week later was called through the lab results.
Okay, can you hold for 1 second?
Yes.
So we talked about earlier that you still can't, that you were unable to let go with your sister. But you believe you let everything go. The only reason why we grow things in our large intestine is we're not letting go, because we create stagnation. So I'm just trying to show you something, okay? All right?
Right.
So everything is environment. So if we've got proper circulation, we're not going to have stagnation. So I just want people to understand that, okay? So and understand this, the difference between benign and malignant is just inflammation. If we had a doctor look at something and this is malignant, the same doctor could have said, this is benign. Understand, if we were to totally relieve ourselves of emotional inflammation first, we would never have it in our physical body. And the invisible creates the physical. As we know, God created everything. The invisible creates the physical. The psychological creates the biological. So if we can get the psychological, okay, where it needs to be, if you can create a tumor, you can uncreate a tumor. You can uncreate things. Go ahead, Michael.
So once I was diagnosed with the esophageal cancer, of course, the doctors immediately wanted to prescribe chemo and radiation and radical surgery, and I just refused. I said, no, that is not an option for me.
How did you feel when they told you that, though? What was your feeling at that moment?
I had this confidence that that was not the answer for me. Okay. I just had a peace about saying no.
Good.
And the first doctor was very nice about it. Then I was sent to Duke, where I had two meetings with two different doctors. The first one I'm calling the good cop. The second one I'm calling the bad cop. The good cop was putting lipstick on a pig, trying to tell me how wonderful chemo and radiation is. The second doctor looked at me and said, you have 6 months to live and you're going to die a very terrible death. And I just was calm and at peace. So was my wife. And I let him speak. And when he finished speaking, I looked at him and I smiled and I said, Doctor, I am really looking forward to seeing you in the future. And I plan to come back. And I plan to be a living testimony of the power of God, and that God has provided an answer in this world. And I'm going to find that natural remedy, and I'm going to find that solution. And I will be standing before you, and we will be seeing each other again. And so I smiled and I said goodbye. Everything was quite
I believe
pleasant.
you, Michael. I believe you. I know you. I know you're going to do it.
Thank you. And so then I went to Mayo, and what I was looking for, I was open to anything that was cutting edge and new, that was not poisoning my body. So if somebody said, hey, we've come up with this new treatment that's a gene therapy that will only tackle the cancer, I would have been open to that. But traditional chemo, radiation, I just don't subscribe to it. And they wanted to do an esophagectomy, removing the entirety of my esophagus and yanking my stomach up where I would have no longer an esophagus. I said, no, that's just not for me. So what I've been doing, how I've been tackling my diagnosis is, my wife and I, we pray every day. We've recruited an army of people to pray. And I am experiencing what is called the peace of God that surpasses all understanding, that is guarding my heart and my mind in Christ Jesus. I have more joy and more peace than I've had in decades. Additionally, I've employed a strategy of my own that I'm calling Mission Inhospitable. And I've decided I am going to make my body so inhospitable to illness and disease that it has no choice but to flee. And so what I do at night when I go to sleep, I have Bible verses that are all about healing, and they play on a loop all night. And then I also have harp music that plays classic hymnals, and that's what I go to sleep to. And when I wake up, my wife, after I shower and get ready, she anoints me with oil. She puts some essential oils on my chest by my lymph nodes. And as she massages those into those areas, she prays over me. And I go on with my day. I'm surrounded by people that I love and that love me. And I'm just very proactive. I'm researching and investigating. I found out about the Hoxie Biomedical Tonic, and I've started that. But what I've most recently learned about was the Rife machine. And that's what I called you about, because I think that kind of technology would play a vital role in my treatment.
It would, but I think that the Avicen would be a lot more powerful. I really do.
How do you spell that?
I really do. first of all, Avicen, we know that you have a circulation problem. We know that that a lot of this stemmed from your lymph, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we know that Avicen is 2.5 times more powerful than any infrared sauna. We know that Avicen will increase the microcirculation in the human body by 67%. We know that there's no other energy medicine device that can do that, and it will only, the other devices will only do around 32 to 35%. We know that it will actually help to oxygenate on a long-term basis better than a hyperbaric chamber. You put your hand into an Avicen, and the Avicen within 5 to 7 minutes puts the body into a healing vibrational state, parasympathetic totally. So then it's helping to dump all that serotonin, endorphins, dopamine. Can you ask them to bring an Avicen in, please? Yes. So, and guess what? It doesn't matter how tired you are. You just have to put your hand in it, and you can lay back, and chances are you'll fall asleep. So you'll also feel, you can feel pressure in your lymph nodes, and that's where it's actually, let's say it's like blowing out the pipes, lovingly blowing out the pipes.
That's great.
Everything, Michael, is about circulation. You know that, right? So you've got where you've got like your arteries and your veins, okay? They make up 26% of your circulation, but 74% is your microcirculation. And wherever there is any type of disease in the body, we know that microcirculation is damaged. So nothing restores microcirculation in that damaged area that we call dis-ease, right?
Yes.
Okay. And nothing will restore it faster. Now, I'm not trying to talk you out of the Rife machine. I mean, it's great for frequencies, but there's another machine called a Sentient Element that I believe is way better than the Rife, because it will actually, you use your phone and you can program every frequency that's ever been made. So you can be really specific. So understand something. Every like the Rife is a good machine, but it's an older technology. The Sentient Element, it's the most powerful PEMF driver in the world today. And it's also doesn't cost as much. And the reality is you can dial in any frequency and you can use it right off your phone. So you want to be able to control a frequency right from a bacteria to a microbe to any type of inflammation or destruction going on in the cells. So, and there are hundreds and hundreds of frequencies. And as the environment changes on our planet, the frequencies we use change as well. And we need new frequencies to come about as they bring out more poisons, more toxins. Or when 5G comes out, you're going to need a whole different frequency to work on the tissue of the body. Because now we've got a different frequency. We've introduced a different frequency into the human body. So now we're going to need a different frequency to actually combat that. So it's better if you have like, so if we're into frequencies, that's what I would suggest. But this is the one right here. And you just put your hand in it and it warms up. And then what it does, it creates a vibration and a heating system, because there's a special heating system in the bottom of our feet and the bottom of, and our hands, the palm of our hands. And when we create a specific frequency, these frequencies, and we create this heat, it actually goes to where the disease is to melt it, to open up the circulation. Isn't that all you wanted? I mean, you know what I really love is this, is first it was this, right? Oh, it's genetics. Okay, so you're going to die of this and you're going to live this long because it's genetics. Then we found out that's a lie. Okay, there was a genome research that they did, and they didn't announce that to everyone. They went and did the genome research and found out that that cancer's not genetic. Isn't that something? But we're not going to tell that to the public. Then we've got people going, it's telomeres. It's your telomeres. Well, yeah, they play a part. But guess what? if you go into PubMed and you take a look back even 100 years and right up till now, all the greatest scientists are saying it's always been microcirculation. So it doesn't matter whatever the condition is, it's always going to be about circulation. Somebody that has great circulation has great health. Somebody that has poor circulation has poor health. Somebody that has no circulation, they're not even here anymore. Yeah.
That's wonderful news. Thank you.
So,
and thank you for sharing that machine. That's helpful because I'm going to look into those. Those look like they're affordable and that something I can get.
Well, they are affordable, and you'll see on my website, you know, they're $4,000, but what we do is here at the clinic is we take $500 off of the units. Now, maybe that's too expensive for you, but that's where we are when it comes to this machine. And when it comes to the other one I was telling you about, it's basically the same price as well. So just do your shopping. Everybody does this thing, rife. And I'm telling you, you might be making a mistake, but at the end of the day, the decision you make will be the right one for you.
Well, what you'll appreciate is part of my mission in Hospitable aligns with what you originally began talking about. So I realized what I was coming to God with was somewhat of a big ask.
Can you hold for 1 second? And this is really important.
Yes.
Can you get them to turn the heat off upstairs? Okay. I got these lights on and all this stuff here, and I think I'm getting a suntan. Okay.
Yes. So I looked at as a person of faith, I was looking at this idea of mission and hospitable, and I really was liking that. In fact, I'm writing a book right now, and I'm incorporating mission and hospitable into one of my chapters. And so what I came up with was also this idea that I have a bucket, and I am asking God to fill my bucket with all of his power and his goodness and his might and his love and everything of him that he can offer me. However, before I ask him to do that, I need to look at my bucket and see that it's emptied. And I realized my bucket was not emptied. And so I began to do something that I did 31 years ago. I re-examined my heart and I started to look at any relationships that were broken that I needed to make right. And I got on the phone and I called the people that I needed to make relationships right with. Where it was appropriate, I asked for forgiveness. Where there was just broken communication, I re-engaged in it. And I kept that process up until I ran out of anyone in my mind. And I just felt this lightness off of my shoulders. I felt as if I was on Air Jordans and filled with helium. And so I have right now such amazing peace, such amazing joy. All of these relationships have been restored. And I have the confidence in the world. I know what Duke said. I don't believe it. And I don't receive it in Jesus' name. I don't receive it. And so I'm just waiting for everything to come together. And every day is a part of my journey. I'm learning new things. Today, you've become a part of my journey. And you've taught me something today. And I'm going to look at these machines and see how God might weave this into part of my testimony so that when I'm standing before the people at Duke, I will say, and there was this guy, the doc of Detox, and he told me about this machine. And let me tell you, it was not chemotherapy, it was not radiation, and he didn't rip out my esophagus. Thank you very much, doctor.
You know what, Michael? I just want to thank you for being on the show because you've given me much more than I've given you today. And I just wanted you to know that your words have healed probably thousands of people already just today from them listening to you speak. You are a godsend. And you know what? You're already healed. Your physical body's just trying to catch up with you because you're moving at God's speed. That's it, okay? So, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, okay? You know, I might be able to help you in certain places, but you are the healing.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah. And if you want, I just want to say this, that you're the one that gifted everybody today, okay? You stole the show, and God love you. You really did, and thank you for that. If you'd like to come back, and if people would like to see Michael, if you want, take a look at My Perfect Day, and then come back if you want, and write down your what you do from the minute you wake up until you go to bed. I mean everything. Then if you want, we can do it on the show, or we can just I can have one of my consultants do it, or if you want me to do it, we can actually do it on the show here, and we'll go through your day, and then we can tweak it. And I know that I'm not going to be able to do a lot, but I can help you tweak it because you've got a major handle on this. Okay.
Thank you. Something else that I've done that's been very therapeutic and has blessed other people is I have always kept an audio journal throughout my life in order to just capture my thoughts, because I always thought that someday perhaps I'd like to reflect back on the kinds of things that I was thinking at different stages of my life.
Yeah.
In this case, what happened is the moment I got diagnosed, I started a video journal and I started a YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and enter my name, Michael Zia, you'll see a picture of me. And every day I have posted a video.
Can you please spell that? Because
yes,
I don't want people trying to guess. Okay.
Sure. My first name is Michael, Michael, space. My last name is Zia, Z as in zebra, E as in echo, A as in apple. Michael Zia. And if you go to my YouTube channel, you can be a part of my journey. And every day it's me just sharing my journey of faith. And it is a journey of faith, and it's a journey of joy. And so I am getting messages from people that are being encouraged by that. And every time I get a message from someone that says that they were encouraged, it just gives me that much more resolve and excitement about what I'm going through. And I don't see this in any way as something bad. I see this as really a privilege, because as a person of faith, I see that life often has difficult parts to it, right?
Yes.
And why not embrace them in the right way and give God glory through it all? And
absolutely.
So
the deal is, too, everyone, is it doesn't matter. And there's many different faiths, but as Michael's stating, you better have faith. You better have faith. And you know what? And you need to water it and make sure those roots go deep within to your soul. Right, my friend?
Amen. Amen. Without faith, it is impossible to please him, for we must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him.
You know what? You're amazing, and you really touched me today. And the reality is that if that was even, if your belief and your vibration, if that could be given to the people right now of this world, okay, we might be able to we might be able to break the bonds of slavery that we didn't even know that we've been part of since the beginning of time. And I just want to thank you. You are just a beautiful blessing, and it's people like you that give me the courage, the faith, and it's nice to have someone out there that's totally given themselves up for this, and but you've given nothing up. You've just claimed your God-given right of total love.
Thank you. Yeah. And thank you for everything that you've shared. This is my first time. I just heard about you today. In fact, a woman that has been like a big sister to me happens to know someone that is a dear friend of yours. And through this conversation that I had this morning, all of a sudden, here we are. So it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this.
Oh, no. The honor's mine, Michael. Sometimes we open these presents up and we find out that they are a true gift, and you are that. Let me know if you'd like to do that. You can take a look at my perfect day, but then you can put things down and we'll talk about things on a physical level, detox level, tricks that I do, things how I like to hack the body and go in. Okay?
Sure. Absolutely.
Thank you for being the blessing that you are, my friend.
Thank you for being the blessing that you are.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Well, who would have figured, eh? You never know what you're going to get, okay? You put your heart out there, and Michael was the true gift today, okay? And he is the true gift. And you know what? Just do what he did. This isn't blind faith. This is faith. Just go in and let go of everything. Sacrifice what you don't need. And allow that to come in and just fill yourself up. Seriously. Let's do some question and answer, and let's get back to the fasting Q&A. Sean, do you know how to bring this up?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everybody, I am technologically, what am I, Sean?
You're the talent, you're the host, you're the doctor.
There, well, or something like that. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, I'm going to answer these questions here. There's only a few. We'll take a few more if you want, and then tomorrow I won't bring anybody on, and we'll just do questions, okay? And we'll see how everybody's doing. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are on day 5 of their fast right now. Tomorrow's day 6, which is the last day for most people. But if you want to keep going on your fast, my extension is number 5. And I would love for you to call me if you have a question or if you need a little bit of support, or because understand, when you fast, you're not letting go of just the lower vibrational things on a physical level, but you're doing it on an emotional level too. Okay? And remember something. Let's just all come together no matter what faith we have, where we're from, okay, because there's many different ways to the top of the mountain. The reality is let's help each other get there, okay? All right. Let's do first. Maria, how often should you add fulvic to your water? 1 teaspoon for every quart or liter. And honestly, you do whatever you want, but in the morning, I start my day off with a tablespoon of Tummy Love or fulvic. Tummy Love has humic in it too, though, so I get the fulvic and the humic. And but during the fast, we only use fulvic because the humic can actually get the digestive tract working more. We don't want to do that. The fulvic won't turn it on, and the fulvic is going to grab the acidity, the heavy metals, and it's all going to also going to bring in 60 different micronutrients into your cells, which is really a cool thing, without turning on. By bypassing the Krebs cycle, and it doesn't turn on your digestive tract, okay? All right, so, but when I'm not fasting, then what I do is I do Tummy Love, which has humic and fulvic in it. It's a really good mixture, and I do that to help my bacteria, okay? So, I do a tablespoon of Tummy Love. If it's an expense thing, then just do a teaspoon. And I'll do a teaspoon of Tummy Love with every quart or liter of water that I drink throughout the day. And the hotter your water is, without burning your throat, the warmer, the hotter the water, okay, it's going to help to clean more, expand more. We want to expand. Cold water doesn't expand, it contracts, okay? All right. Fawn, I've been feeling cold the past 2 days from fasting, a little weak in the legs. Well, the reality is if you're doing the Ormus minerals and you do more ATP, and make sure that you're using the hot water drink, like I said, with the fulvic. And remember the deal, everyone. The deal is that you were going to at least every hour, you were going to take 5 minutes and you were going to just pray, meditate, or just sit there and breathe. And do the Lionheart breathing to just bring yourself back into center, okay? So if you do an advanced water fast, okay, and you say no, and you don't say no to other people, and can you do this for me, can you do that? And if you don't say yes to yourself in learning to find peace, listen, we have been taught to be impatient. We have been taught that we don't do enough. We've been taught that even when you're exhausted, tired, you should push yourself. What if you were to actually just lay your head down for 10 minutes? What if you were to just calm down? What if you weren't going to push yourself all the time? Do you know how often we hurt ourselves? Let me tell you something. And this is not about Michael, so understand this, okay? But when you end up with cancer, this is you pushing yourself and suffering. Okay? So you'll know how much you've been unconsciously abusing oneself by how dramatic and traumatic your healing symptoms are, how long you're laying in bed and you can't move. when people are laying in bed and they're suffering, that is a healing, because that is the amount of suffering you were doing on an unconscious level throughout your day, every day, to yourself. So that's all I was trying to say to Michael. Michael's a beautiful human being. He's right on the money. But the reality is that, you know what? He needs to really give honor and praise to himself as well. And he needs to really take a look and make sure that there's no hooks left. You know what I mean? No hooks left. Okay? Remember something. Healing is a team effort. You and your creator. Okay? Both deserve unconditional love. Okay. So yeah, is feeling weak and dizzy normal during the 6-day fast? Well, let's put it this way. If you're malnourished and toxic, it means that you need to support yourself more nutritionally. It means that you might need to take a 5-minute break every half hour. Because remember, if you go into an advanced water fast, the 3rd day is usually the hardest day because the digestive tract is shutting right down. And then as soon as the digestive tract shuts right down, autophagy comes right up, which means the body has so much extra energy it can go in and eat up diseased cells and gobble, gobble. Like, you remember the Pac-Man game? Well, it'll just go in and gobble everything that shouldn't be there. It feeds off of fat, scar tissue, tumors, just anything that shouldn't be, trapped protein particles, congestion. It just goes to work. And then also stem cell making goes right through the roof. So now we're repairing and replacing with stem cells. And stem cells are these cells that your body will decide, okay, that can be part of your eye because you've got cataracts or you've got a detached retina. This is for your heart because you've got a heart valve problem. Oh, we're gonna send these stem cells down to your ovaries, okay, because they're inflamed and tissue needs to be replaced. Or your uterus, okay, is thinning out and we need to fill back in your uterus. Do you understand? So stem cells are those cells that they get decided on where they're going to go and what they're going to become, okay? All right. So you may need to, if you're feeling this, you need to do more Ormus minerals, okay? On your fast, you need to do more ATP. And understand, unless you want to suffer, lay in bed, or you can create more ATP, more energy. Because it's, okay, if I can give myself more energy when I'm doing the advanced water fasting without turning on my digestive tract, is that cheating? No. You will just have better results. But if you can't afford it, then you're going to have to lay yourself down more and make sure that you're calming down more, okay? And check into your breathing. Okay, so if you don't breathe, you don't live. If you breathe a little, you live a little. If you breathe deep and slowly, so that you're not pushing the panic button, because believe it or not, okay, 9,999 people out of 10,000 are pushing the panic button all day and don't know it, because you're around people that push the panic button all day that don't know it. So the reality is this. I always say this, if you go into a pig barn, oh my gosh, the smell, you feel like you're going to faint. But after a few minutes, you don't even smell the manure, do you? So the reality is that we don't really know, okay, what it feels like to feel healthy or different situations until we step outside the box, until we break away, until we're able to really take a good look at ourselves. The most important person that you observe, and I didn't say judge, but observe, is always yourself. And on a fast, you'll find out that you'll start observing yourself like you've never observed yourself before. Jesus would fast 40 days. And that wasn't because he partied too hard with the disciples, okay? He wasn't rocking the beer and the booze, okay? Jesus did that to bring his vibration level up high enough that he could connect to his Father. Because you have to bring your frequency up to just lock in. So the more that you can bring your frequency up, the more that you can lock into your authentic self. And that's where the healing comes, because everything is a frequency. Everything is light and frequency. So that's why we fast. And understand something. You can do this too. You could go 40 days if you wanted, but if you were going to do 40 day, the longest I've ever went was 22 days. And I wouldn't go any longer. It's not like I've got a lot of fat to burn. And the reality is I would never want to try to do a long fast. Like I do the 6-day fast every time I do it with you guys, but I would not want to do a long fast and work at the pace I'm working, because that would be crazy. So let's put it this way. I want to take a hiatus. You know, the best place for me to fast is in a hammock on the beach. Okay. All right. Okay. Where the water, the ocean, where I can go in and just be part of that. Okay. Because healing always happens in a water environment. That's why you'll see that wherever you have a healing going on, you have swelling. And sometimes the swelling is too much, so it causes pain. So you want to bring the swelling down, but you don't ever want to totally get rid of the swelling. You ever notice when people have water retention, especially in when you're dealing with cancer, and they drain all the water off? Big mistake. Never do that. You can drain the water off to get the pressure down, but to take all the water off when you've got ascites in your tummy or other places in the body and drain all the water off, now you've allowed that person to burn up. Oh yeah, you've taken all. You want to take the pressure off. So if you're okay, if I'm doing a cleanse and I'm in a lot of pain, there's lots of tricks that you can slow the healing down. Okay, the problem is the more emotional and physical abuse that you've done on an unconscious level, the more the more traumatic the healing's going to be. So you're going to have symptoms that are going to be rocking your world maybe, okay? It's like this. If you don't make payments on your Visa and then you decide you're going to make a payment all at once, it's boom, like a large payment, right? And that's what people are going through is the healing response can sometimes rock their world. So you got to back off. You got to back the body off. And that's where you got to kind of master it. Don't kill the healing. Just calm the healing. And that's why I'm not telling you not to use drugs, but if you use drugs to totally numb yourself out, to get rid of the pain, to get rid of the inflammation, then you destroyed the healing of your body. And boy, you're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for that. You don't get away with that stuff. It comes for you later. Okay? Is feeling weak and dizzy normal? The 6-day fast, not for everybody, no. There will be a tendency, but then you've got to lay yourself down and you got to rest. Like I said, taking the supplements you suggested, but my energy is much lower. I'm losing 2 pounds a day. I've lost 8 pounds since Thursday. That's fine. So, Fawn, You like to know what your weight is at. So, if you want to text in or on Facebook right now, can you make sure that if Fawn does, I want to know what her weight was at and what it's at right now. Sean, can you tell Tara if she can do that? And if not, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Okay, if she puts in the comments right now, I can read it off.
Fawn, can you put it in the comments right now? And I'll move on to the next one. This will be all the questions for today, though. Tomorrow, I'll just do question and answer. Wednesday, I'll just do question and answer. And then I'm going to let you know my schedule. And all the questions that came in that weren't about the fasting, I'm going to go through all of them. There's probably about 30 or 40. And then we'll do those. I just don't know my schedule right now. There's a lot going on, isn't there, Sean? So I probably won't be able to do any Q&As until next week. We have a major 2-day shooting, and I've got about 12 consults I've got to do this week, so it's not going to happen. Stephanie, made it to day 4 on water fast. You go, girl. Okay. But had to break the fast. That's fine. That's amazing. You made it past the 3rd day, which is the hardest day, and you were into the 4th day, which means your digestive tract was shut right down. The next time you go to do this, it's going to even be easier. It's like this. In life, it's called passion, purpose, repetition. Passion, purpose, repetition. Passion, purpose, repetition. And the more you repeat something, the more you become it. So when you become conscious of what you want to repeat and what you want to become, then you're going to live it. Okay? All right. Break the fast. I developed extreme fatigue and dizziness, but what took it over the edge was acid reflux. Okay. The acid reflux is you were detoxifying a lot of acid out of you. And this was actually, we can blame it on diet, but it's mainly you swallowing things that you cannot digest. You swallowing things that you cannot digest on an emotional level that were caught in the pit of your abdomen. And then what happened is when we bring the energy level up, we unearth things and they come to the top and they boil to the top. I would have told you to do the baking soda. So, and continue the fast. I would have told you to take a teaspoon of baking soda with a 10-ounce glass of water and drink it. And if you had to do that 3 times a day and still fast, wonderful. So there's the tip for next time. Let me tell you something. Do you know how we live today? Well, if I can't do it right, I'm not going to do it at all. Let me tell you something. The right way is your way, the way that we do it, that you continue the fast. And if we have to kick in something new, we kick it in so we get you over that bump so you can continue. The subconscious looks for any reason it can to create a disappointment so that you'll stop anything new. You know what people say? I hate change. Well, boy, do you live on the wrong planet? And the other thing is, you have to embrace change. And a lot of people with water fasting, they'd go, well, if you can't just do water and Himalayan salt and do enemas, then it's not a real fast. Well, that's not true. Because an advanced water fast with using the Ormus minerals, the ATP, using the ionic calcium therapy, and using the fulvic is 1,000 times better than just doing a water fast and suffering. Okay, and doing an ultimate coffee enema instead of an enema is way better than an enema. So let's get that perfectly clear. Doing belly button therapy, okay, belly button therapy on the fast, and doing clapping on the fast, and then doing the lengthen and strengthen detox exercise that you'll find in the do-it-yourself guide, okay? You do those things, and you're going to talk about rocking your world. So understand something. We can hack things, we can improve things, and we can make things better, okay? But the baking soda next time, sweetie, okay? Just take a look at doing that. And if you did the baking soda, and as soon as you start to feel the acid, because we know that you've always had a problem with acid, okay? All right? And guess who else does? This guy, okay? So I'm a blood type A, and blood type A can usually have stomach problems, right? Okay? So I used to have to do baking soda all the time, but I still do baking soda at least once a day. All right. And why do I do that? Well, because I'm a type A personality, like you didn't notice that. And I love to go and create things. And sometimes as soon as I start to feel that little burning or that little bubbling or that little bit of acidity coming, I don't mess around. I go upstairs. I get myself a 16 ounces of water. Usually it's room temperature or warmer. And then I put in, you put in a teaspoon, I put in a tablespoon. I'll put in a tablespoon and I'll drink that, and it'll calm me right down. Have you ever been in a situation where you've been in a very stressful situation, and after the stressful, you can feel tight. You feel tight. Your body feels tight. You feel like you're going to explode. Go ahead. Do the baking soda. Why would you allow that adrenaline cortisol to eat you up like acid? Go do the baking soda. And don't you dare listen to people and they tell you, oh, baking soda. No, it's a lifesaver. And I'm going to tell you something. There's people that, you know, to do the same effects with supplementation, you'd be looking at hundreds and maybe thousands of dollars over a lifetime. And now you can just go get some baking soda, put it into the glass. That's better. No, because it's not, you're not getting rid of hydrochloric acid that does your digestion. You're getting rid of the acid that you built up because of anxiety, or you didn't take the time to drink water, or you're like me trying to do 20 things at once. And you know what? I'll tell you, I get off on that. And the reality is I don't get sick. You know, you got to understand something. Both my parents died 10 years younger than me of cancer. I will never have cancer, and I will never have a disease, and I will never have COVID. I might have a cold and a flu, but I haven't had a cold and a flu longer than I know it because I know what to do. Okay. I've never had acid reflux. Yeah, I know, but these are the things that you've swallowed emotionally. Okay, psychological trumps biological. And you know what? You've been swallowing things, and you have. If we were to talk, you've been swallowing things you can't digest. I just, you know what I mean? Okay, all right. I've never had acid reflux. I've done several juice fasts throughout the years, and this was the first water fast. It felt awesome. Guess what, sweetheart? That's the difference. A juice fast is great. You can get away with doing a vegetable juice fast, and you don't have to honor and respect yourself as much. If you want to do an advanced water fast, then you've got to really dig deep down and really love, honor, and respect yourself. Good for you. Good for you. I'm so proud of you, and I mean that. Felt awesome the first 2 days. Started the dizziness on the third day. I told you, the third day is the test for everyone, because the third day is where digestive tract is saying, we're shutting down. And it's like, you know, in the house, you take that main lever and you pull it down, and it just, all the electrical just shuts off. That's right, because now you just shut down what takes the most energy. You know, if you eat 3 meals a day, the same energy it costs for the normal average person to digest 3 meals is, you could walk 10 miles. Think about that. Okay, so where were we here? First 2 days, started dizziness on the third day, and by the fourth day was on the mattress island. Yeah, I love you, girl. Hey, listen, but next time, just kick in the baking soda, because if we could have just went the 6 days, okay, it would have told your subconscious there's a new sheriff in town called total self-love, and I have unlimited potential. So next time we'll do it that way, but I'm so proud of you. Just know that, okay? I'm taking the Merigen, fulvic, and Ormus minerals. Also, should the fluoride in the minerals be concerned? Okay, everybody. The fluoride that's in the Ormus minerals is natural. Remember, for every toxic that mankind throws at us, there's a natural. The natural fluoride that's in the Ormus minerals will push the fluoride out that's actually in your body and help for decalcifying your pineal gland. Okay. Thank you for your passion. No, thank you for yours. Okay. Crystal, I want to go 7 days. Boom, go. I love 7. Just want to know it's normal to be weak and cold. Yes. So here's the deal. If you're weak and cold, you're going to have more little cat naps. If you had an Avicen, that would be really cool, but you don't have to have one. Make sure that you're doing some clapping on those cool areas, or doing if you go into my clapping for health guide in my library, go do the clapping your lungs and heart for health, and clap your heart area, and that's your heart meridian. This is your pericardium meridian, your heart meridian, your lung meridian, and clap here, and you'll find that you'll increase your circulation, okay? And then just make sure you get more little cat naps or breathing, connect to your breath, do the belly button therapy more often if you can, and just conserve your energy as much as possible, and just don't take on anything else extra. And listen, allow yourself to be laid out in the bed. Put some soft music on, beautiful music, and connect to your breath, and just practice your lion heart breathing. Have the window open, okay, and make sure that if you go outside, you bundle up as if it's winter, and then you really do. Keep yourself warm, and do sun gazing in the morning. Sun gaze in the morning for 10 to 20 minutes, and then sun gaze as the sun's going down the last 10 minutes at night. And that's going to help you sleep at night and rest better. Your melatonin your best melatonin in your life comes when the sun is rising for the first 10 to 20 minutes. That's where you get your melatonin. So, you rise with the sun if you want a good sleep at sunrise. Okay? Took baking soda, so cold, though blue hands yesterday freaked me out some. Well, clap them. Clap your blue hands. And let me just tell you something. You weren't going to have a heart attack or a fart attack, girl. what was happening is, believe it or not, this fast was uncovering anxiety. People who have continual panic and anxiety always have cold hands. Now, why would you think that a fast like this would only unearth physical toxins? No, it's emotional toxins too. We talked about the 40-day cleanse, okay? Why do you think Gandhi did it? Why do you think Jesus did it? They did it for a reason. To bring their vibration up, to empty their heart of anger, hate, negative emotions so that they could really envelop and take in unconditional love. So to have unconditional love for oneself and for the world, you have to detoxify issues in your tissues, okay? Bethany, my apologies. Made it to day 3, good going. At 9 p.m., but had to stop due to bad aches in hips, legs, upper spine, shakes. I did everything you told me, doctor. Do you know why this could be happening? It's my first time. Because it's your first time fasting. You guess what? It's your first time fasting. You did wonderful. You have no idea. And guess what? Those aches and pains that you felt in your hips and your spine and throughout, well, those are the aches and pains that are going to put you in the nursing home and the hospital. So guess what? You've already uncovered them and stirred them up. Now in 2 months, in 8 weeks, we're going to do it again. I haven't got the date, but I'll have it by tomorrow. And we're going to do another advanced water fast. So stay on the perfect day. And then when we go to do this next one, you're going to make it a lot further. And you're going to say, wow, yeah, I am aching and paining. Now, do you remember where you were aching and paining? Because that's really important. It was your spine and your hips. So you need to go and do the pelvic squats, the pelvic curl, and even get yourself a pelvic expander. This is a pelvic expander. And if you can't get yourself a pelvic expander, don't want to buy one, okay, then what I want you to do is then you get 3 chairs. So this is the pelvic expander if you've never seen it before, everybody. Now, what you do is you put it at the end of the table. And what you do is you put your one leg, let's say if I put my right leg straight up on here, my butt's right up against it, my leg is right up, and then the other leg hangs down. If it's too much for you, put a chair so that your foot touches the chair on the seat so that you don't feel like you're going to tear out. But you want to get yourself a pelvic expander, and you can get a pelvic expander in the United States. And right now, I don't make any money off them, and I really don't. But right now, I've had them reduce the price during the advanced water fast. You can go in Canada and get a pelvic expander from Welton. His phone number's 780-214-5651. In Canada, from Welton, 780-214-5651. And in United States, from Dean Saleo, 678-628-4438. That's 678-628-4438. And if you can't afford one, you see right there, there's 3 chairs. You take those 3 chairs or 4 chairs, you line them up. 1, 2, 3, 4. You lay on the chairs, and then let's say the doorway is right here. What you do is you put your one leg up on the side of the doorway, and you hang the other leg into the doorway where the stairs are going down. Okay? And again, if it's too much pain in your pelvis, that means you're full of calcium, displaced calcium, scar tissue crystallization. Then put something there so that you can feel the stretch, but you don't feel like you're going to tear out from the leg that's hanging. So this would, let's say that this was the right side of the door. I'll put my right leg here, my butt's right up against the doorway, and I'm laying on 3 chairs, and I'm going to hang my left leg. Then I'm going to move the chairs over, and I'm going to put my left leg up and hang my right leg in the doorway. If you did that for 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night, and you did my pelvic squats, okay, all right, and you did the crab stretch, okay, which is in the DIY guide of the library. If you did these things and you did clapping and you did belly button therapy and you took massive personal action, your life would change. So just get that. Okay, your body is a vessel, and those those issues in your tissues are going to kill you someday if you don't watch it. At least they're going to cause dis-ease. Okay? Because the longer you keep these negative emotions buried inside your body, the more inflammation you're going to have. The more inflammation you have. Listen, if you didn't have any inflammation, you'd live until you were 120 to 130 years old. Inflammation is the reason why we have a dying nation right now. Okay, inflammation is the body attacking itself on an emotional level first, then a physical level. And that is what we call autoimmune disease. And we also know that 92%, did you get that? 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease. And guess what? The majority of that sector has not just one autoimmune disease, but 2 or 3. And then you'll talk to these people and you say, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing great. I've never felt so good. That's right. We get used to feeling sick. But if we're not in the hospital, this is as good as it gets, right? Well, this is as good as it gets in a society where we have the psycho elite running all these health programs that are just the most awful, disgraceful things, and we think it's normal. So welcome to abnormal is the new normal. Okay, all right. So anyways, that's about that. Let me see what we got here, and then we're going to wrap this up because guess what? Michael was a surprise, but what a pleasant surprise. You know what? That's a beautiful human being. I mean, you know, he wasn't just talking out of his mouth. He was talking from his heart. Okay? Okay, made it to day 3 at 9 p.m. She had to stop. Doctor, do you know why this could happen? It's my first. Well, because it's your first time. You know, did you ever want to learn a poem? How did you do the first time? How'd you do the second time? How'd you do the third time? How'd you do the fourth time? Now you know that poem. Okay, all right. And it's called honor, loving, and respecting oneself. It takes practice. Okay, it takes practice. Bethany, I will say when I found you, I was 160 pounds, and first day of the fast was down to 151, and now I'm 144. I am in totally different mindset, and I really do feel reset physically and emotionally. Oh my God, Bethany, you know what? Just keep going, because you're the type of person that becomes a light for the world. So everybody out there, I know that we have conflict, we have hardships, but you know what? You've got what it takes. Find your brave heart and then shine your light on the world, because everybody else is in the same pickle as you are, okay? All right? We're all in the same pickle. That's why do you think I bring people on to tell their stories, okay? Because you know what? Dr. Wolf can talk an hour, and I can bring somebody on that's going to tell their story for 10 minutes, and that'll outshine my hour any day, okay? Because that's real. That's real. Real life, real questions, real answers from real people that have gone through or are going through what you're going through. Okay, CIN, that's her name, their name. I'm on an involuntary water fast due to diverticulitis situation. I have obviously been doing things wrong. Diverticulitis, everyone, just means diverticuli are inflamed, but it's called diverticular disease. And what that is you ever seen like a tire with a bulge? Remember a long time ago, when we didn't have tubes in our tires, when I was younger, you know, we'd have this bulge and it would be bulging out. Well, what diverticulitis is inflammation of the diverticuli. And this person has diverticuli, which means that they are so constipated that the poop is rotting out their large intestine. But the doctors will never say that. So stagnant waste creates bad bacteria that fart, and they fart endotoxin, and that's very irritating and inflaming, and it eats away at the large intestine. And then you get these out pockets, and then when you start to heal, you'll get these capsule-like, they look like capsules, but they're poop capsules, and you'll see them in the toilet. And that's because diverticuli will heal, just like polyps will heal, just like tumors can heal. And I'm not telling anybody not to go to your doctor, not to do surgery, not to do chemo, not to do radiation. Just because I will never do it doesn't mean anything. I'm telling everyone that do whatever you want to do over here, but what about doing lots of things for right here? Taking massive personal action. Don't just sit around and waiting for someone to rescue you. Okay. Ryan, what was baking soda tip? What was the purpose? Well, Ryan, look it. This is not me telling you what to do, prescribing anything. I don't do that. I tell you on a personal level what I would do if I was you. Whether if I was a woman, if I was this weight, if I was that weight, if I had this illness, what would I do? I'm not telling anybody what to do. For one thing, it's free. I'm just telling you that this is what I would do. Two people having a conversation, okay? So here's the deal. Baking soda. Never do baking soda right after you eat. And if right after you eat, you feel totally like bloated, then that means that you didn't combine your food properly. So that means you mix starches and proteins together, or you ate 2 proteins at a meal, or you sat down exhausted, and then you tried to tell your body to eat a meal that was going to take a lot of energy, or you sat down with anxiety and you didn't chew your food properly, and all these big chunks went down. And the reality is that if you want to live a long, strong, healthy life, then what you want to do is drink your solids, chew your liquids. So that means that when I take carrot juice in, or I take water in, even if you took water in, if you swish it around in your mouth a little bit, or juice and you swish it around in your mouth a little bit before it goes down. Anything that you put in your mouth, if you just let the enzymes in your mouth, the salivary glands, put enzymes into the product, you're going to digest it better. If I was going to eat anything solid and I chew it until it becomes a liquid, I could eat 1/3 of the food today and I could have 40 to 60% more energy. So, never bring your troubles to the table. Bring peace, bring harmony. If you're upset, go take a cold shower. Go for a walk. Go pray. Go meditate. Calm down. If you eat when you're upset, you're going to kill yourself, because you are going to put that negative emotion into that food. And I don't care if it's organic, okay, or what it is, you're going to poison the food with your poison thoughts. So you never eat when you're exhausted, when you're upset. Rule number 1, learn how to food combine. Vegetables can be mixed with starches. Vegetables can be mixed with proteins. Never put proteins and starches together. Your meat and potato man, okay, he's bloated and he looks like he's pregnant because he's ready to blow. Okay? Anyways, that's it. Baking soda. So, anxiety, take baking soda. But if you're going to take baking soda because you're anxious or upset or you feel acidic, you're going to take the baking soda and then you're going to wait for at least a half an hour before you eat, because you neutralize the acid, okay, that was boiling in your stomach, that was spewing up and burning your esophagus, okay? So you're going to wait a half an hour. And if you just ate and you feel bloated, you're going to have to wait at least a half an hour or more before you can do the baking soda, because you don't want to go in and neutralize the hydrochloric acid in your stomach. You want the food to leave your stomach before you do the baking soda. Those are the only rules. And let me tell you, do baking. If you have anxiety, you can't sleep, go have some baking soda, okay? And then also take Mag Infusion. It's a product that I sell. I'm not going to grab it. It's over there. And I'm going to put 2 scoops of Mag Infusion under your tongue, hold them for 2 to 3 minutes, and you'll be like, ah. And then you can do belly button therapy, all right? Belly button therapy. That releases 70% of your serotonin, 50% of your dopamine. And if you're angry or stressed out, clap. Okay, you can believe it or not believe it, but, I would say 9 hours of clapping a week on my body. 9 hours of clapping a week. That's right. Okay. Forever young. Okay. No physical blocks. It's the invisible and the physical blocks that blind us and bind us and create our disease. Okay. All right. Okay. So your body, okay, will bury all your dysfunctional emotions until you're ready to deal with it. Okay, so let go, let God. Okay, all right. Now, let's see here. Before we wrap it up, you never know what the day's going to be like. Eh? I just was going to come on and do these questions, and then Michael had to show up. Okay, the Archangel Michael. Okay, now Tuesday, April the 13th, advanced water fasting. That's tomorrow, and then on Wednesday will be. I'll be coming on again. For most people, that will be day 6. Will be tomorrow, and then we'll be talking about how everybody did, wrapping it up, and I'll also have the dates of the next one. Okay. Tuesday, April the 20th, I will have Peter Webb, Crystal Life 5G EMF protection. Okay. All right. And then Wednesday, I'm going to have April the 21st, I'm going to have Dr. Magda Havas, 5G, the invisible threat. Thursday, I'll have April the 22nd. I'll have Sheena Symington. Okay. And she's going to be discussing about the next great pandemic, which will be people that are EMF sensitive and not be able to live anywhere where there's any electrical EMF. Go figure. But that's what's happening, because we are light energy beings. And when you bombard the body with all these negative frequencies that they're doing to us right now, the only thing that can happen is a blowout. Okay? Tuesday 26th and Wednesday 27th, I'll have Del Bigtree. Okay, down on the pharma. Okay, the 26th, he's coming on live. We're going to have a discussion. We're going to talk about where we are today. Okay, I think you can tell what the topic's going to be. And then that's Del Bigtree, everyone, from Highwire. And if you want to know more about him, go to icandecide.org. Okay, and this is a nonprofit show that is probably one of the most powerful shows on the World Wide Web today, and you can donate there. The man is truly a Braveheart hero for the whole world. Okay, on the 27th at 10 a.m. all of these shows are at 10 a.m. but on the 27th I'll have Del, and you can send your questions in live. Okay, now understand, with Del's show and with Magda Havas, the shows are not staying on Facebook. As soon as the shows are over, we are moving them to Telegram. Okay, because Facebook will probably not like me. Okay, and I really don't need to be spanked. Okay, so the reality is, you can go to Telegram, or tell everyone to go to Telegram. You should join my Telegram anyway. You're going to find so much stuff there that you'll never find on Facebook, and that's t.me/the Doc of Detox. Do we have that we can put it up?
It's up right now under your left.
Okay, take a look. You really want to download Telegram, everyone. Okay. All right. May 1st, I will be doing what's called Braveheart World. It's an 8 hours of personal take action where I'll be talking for 8 hours. There you go. And I'll be showing all different techniques on what to do with your life and how to pull your life back together. Okay. Go to eventbrite.com, EVENT bright.com, and search for Conference Cube. That's Conference Cube, and tickets are $295. If you do the coupon code, you'll pay $195 for the whole day. Now, it's not just me. We have advertising going up, and do you think we can show that tomorrow of all the other people that are going to be lecturing?
Yeah,
this is 6 days, okay, of some of the best lecturers. All right, so it's not just me. So you're getting way more for your money. All right. Okay, so let me see here. What else? I guess that's about it. If you want to join our newsletter, then if you give us your email, we want your email. It's not about selling you products, but someday I might be erased from platforms. I don't know why. I'm such a nice guy, but the reality is it could happen. And if it does, and if I have your email, then you'll be able to get in touch with us, and we can get in touch with you. Okay. And what else? Oh, all our shows are time stamped. If you go to YouTube, when the questions, if you want to find a certain question. All right. And if you want to listen to any of my shows, then you would go to iTunes, SoundCloud. Okay. And you can download any of my audios onto your phone if you want to listen and learn. Okay. Okay. So everybody, just so you know, I am going to be doing what's called Healthy to 100. It's a 3-day advanced training, May 14th to the 16th. I'll have the pricing within the next couple of days. Now, these are these are all-day courses, right? And these are live. These are not pre-shot. This is a live course, 3 days, okay, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where I will be going into greater detail and depth, okay? And then we will be having a 21-day New World Practitioner Training, June 5th to the 25th. We have 4 spots. That's it. 4 more spots if you want to come and become a certified whole life coach, or if you want to learn Wolf Non-Surgical. And I will tell you, my trainings are the most powerful when it comes to nutrition and emotion with the whole life coach. And when it comes to body work, we're the only clinic I know of that gives the money back guarantee. That's right. That in the first treatment, we'll go further than anybody else has ever gone with you. Give up your cane, give up your walker, okay? We tell you that if you go to surgery, we'll refund your money, okay? We have lost faith in the healing of the human body, okay? I will be also teaching a course, a 22-day course in Ixtapa, Mexico, September the 11th until October the 2nd, okay? All right? And then I will be doing another course in Ixtapa, and it will only be for Spanish-speaking people from October 9th to November 22nd, and it is a 25-day course. Because of the translation, we have to add 3 more days on that because it's going to put us behind a little bit. There you go. Thanks for joining the show, everyone. And just know this, okay? Find your Braveheart roar. And I'd like to leave you with this today, okay? It's a quote that I put together. I am love. I am healed. I am Braveheart. Today and every day, from the moment I rise until I gently close my eyes, I will trust, honor, respect, protect, and forgive myself totally. First and foremost, before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. Because I am, I can, I'm healed, I'm Braveheart. Understand, you can't give what you're not. So become the light. And then shine that light. Because you know what? We could have the biggest stadium in the world, and a little child that just learned how to walk could have a candle. We could be on the other side, a mile away. But that little light, that little candle would show us out. It would show us how to get out of that darkness. Have a beautiful day. Take care.
Let me ask you a question. How would it feel? No, wait a minute. How would you like to get the life that you promised yourself or the world promised you? Well, let me tell you something right now. You're never going to have it unless you search for different. And you know what that difference is? The New World Practitioner. Yes, the New World Practitioner training. The 21-day training in Kelowna, British Columbia, okay, is that training. If you want to become something different and you want a different outcome for your patients, and if you want to become financially successful, I have the team to do it. And after the training, guess what? We've only begun to work together because united we stand. And I will show you that a New World Practitioner is different than anything else out there, and you will be able to push beyond all the beliefs that were blocking you from your success on all levels. Good day, I'm Dr. Darrell Wolf. Do you know why you or your friends or your family are struggling with their health? Well, because they've never been given a strategy. And every time they go to see a health practitioner, whether it's medical or natural, all they're doing is getting Band-Aids. What if we were able to create a strategy that you could create the perfect day from the minute you woke up until you went to bed, and then we continue to guide and support you along your journey as you grow, your program grows. And what if you only paid one price, and you had unlimited support and guidance for the rest of your life? That's called the Perfect Day Consultation. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.